I know it's hard to believe, but many of my clinical colleagues still have not gotten the memo that the keto diet is actually okay. Apparently, they've never gotten a memo that low carb and keto diets are now approved by many large organizations, including the American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association, and, believe it or not, the American Association of Clinical Endocrinology. But there's more. Now U.S. News and World Report, who seems to have a lot of love for the Mediterranean diet, has now ranked the keto diet as the #1 diet for fast weight loss. This is really good news. And now that these large organizations are endorsing low carb and keto, and the U.S. News is saying this is the best diet for weight loss, I thought I'd take a moment to remind you about what this keto diet is in the first place, because so many of my patients come to this clinic and are still learning the basics about keto. But before I do that, for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. I'm Dr. Hampton, a board-certified family and obesity medicine doctor who's been on the front lines of healthcare for over 29 years. And by the way, another useful resource is in the notes to this video. It's my link tree. In the link tree, you'll find videos explaining how to get started with low carb and carnivore, as well as my really handy low carb handout that I share with my patients. So make sure to check out those links in the video notes. So what is this keto diet anyway? A ketogenic diet is a low carb, high fat diet where you significantly reduce carb intake. That's the most important part. The recommended amount of carbohydrates you consume, though, on this diet depends on your goals, your activity level, and of course your health status. I typically tell my patients to limit their total carbs to somewhere between 20 or 30 grams of total carbs per day. I consider this therapeutic or prescription strength carb reduction. I have found that this approach is better for me because when people come see the metabolic health doc, they expect to get results. So I find that getting a carb number low really increases their chances of having success. Now, other clinicians in my clinic may recommend like 50 total carbs per day, but I think focusing on total carbs is also an important concept. This is when you don't subtract the sugar, alcohols, or fiber on a label. Imagine eating a keto product that has maybe 10 total carbs, but when you subtract the fiber plus the sugar, alcohols, you end up with 9, and then you can subtract the 9 to get a total net carb of 1. But here's the problem with this, guys. Imagine eating 10 servings of a product which would be 100 total carbs, and when you subtract the 90 representing the sugar, alcohols, and fiber, you end up with 10 net carbs. Now, although the net carbs are low, do you really think that 100 total carbs being that high would not negatively affect you achieving your goals? So I think the answer is clear that of course it will, so it's best to do total carbs instead of net. Now that you know what a keto diet looks like, what about this term you hear about ketosis? Ketosis is a metabolic state that occurs when the body uses fat for energy instead of glucose or blood sugar. This happens when the body doesn't have enough glucose, and this is usually due to things like starvation, fasting, or being on a low carb or keto diet. Now, when glucose is limited, insulin levels decrease, which causes the body to release fatty acids from our fat stores in our belly, for example. The liver then breaks down these fatty acids into ketones. These are chemical byproducts that the body uses as fuel at this point. Using your body's fat as fuel will result in having unlimited energy, which I love, and of course, less body fat. That's why so many people are obsessed with trying to be in ketosis, because it provides some evidence that, you're probably burning body fat when you're in ketosis. Now, I think it would, I want to take a few moments to share reasons why you may not be in ketosis when you think you are. Now, the obvious one is what you already know, which is you ate too many carbs, right? Most people need to be consuming less than 50 carbs a day to be in ketosis. But again, aiming for a number that is a little bit lower will greatly increase your chances of getting to where you're trying to go. Another thing that makes it hard to be in ketosis is what I've talked about already, eating products that focus on net carbs where you subtract the fiber and sugar alcohols. It's what we call dirty keto and includes keto bread and other refined keto products. Next up are some of the condiments we use on our food that also take us out of ketosis, because there's a lot of hidden sugars in foods like ketchup and barbecue sauce. So be mindful of that. Even dairy, which we think is keto friendly, can also take you out of ketosis. So be careful of milk, buttermilk, and some of the yogurts. Additionally, what else? Well, obviously, if you don't get enough sleep or you're under a lot of stress, right? Because both of these will increase your cortisol level, which ultimately will tell your liver to release more glucose into your blood circulation. So if you are also not just focused on just losing weight, I think there's a few things I want to mention real quick. There's other benefits to keto. The main thing is metabolic health, hypertension, diabetes, polycystic ovarian syndrome, acne, even mental illness, and of course epilepsy are other benefits of going on this dietary pattern. So what I'll do, just to make you feel more comfortable, I'll share links to studies, Keto for refractory mental illness, the DASH versus keto diet. I'll share links to that in the video notes. Keep in mind that I did a great video about DASH versus keto. Definitely don't want to miss that. And keto, of course, was the winner. So another thing that's really cool about the studies that I've looked at that talk about keto is that you find that you don't have to count carbs if you do this dietary pattern. And I really love that, because when I eat a lot of animal products, I get full, because protein and fat makes us full. So thankfully, this dietary pattern won't have you starving. So, and you end up reducing the carbs that you consume overall. So now when it comes to the keto diet itself, let's review what it is. It's important that you reduce carbs, eat adequate animal protein, and of course have healthy fats to make you feel full and add flavor. You're eating a lot of meat, poultry, fish, eggs, non-starchy vegetables, and of course those healthy fats. We think about boca, olive oil, butter, coconut oil, and things like that. And I think that'll really help you. Again, boca is butter, olive oil, coconut oil, and avocado oil. You want to avoid processed foods, grains, sugars, and things like that. And I think at the end of the day, if you're on medicine, you need to be very careful, because when you eat this way, it's going to really reduce your blood sugar, and you may have to be weaned off medicine. So you need to work with a doctor like myself who understands how to de-prescribe. And unfortunately, a lot of doctors are not aware of this, and you run the risk of your sugar going too low, blood pressure going too low. So let's be safe, guys, as we think about this. So by understanding why the keto diet is helpful, how to achieve ketosis, and the potential benefits of the keto diet, you can really start to make informed decisions about how to incorporate this approach into your lifestyle. So it's not just about weight loss, it's about achieving metabolic health. And I really want to give credit where credit is due. Let's all celebrate that the U.S. News and World Report and other organizations are finally getting it. So share this video to all those people out there who are still on the fence and really are still afraid of the word keto, because they shouldn't be. And if you've had success with a low-carb keto or carnivore diet, please, please, please share in the comments so that we can continue to inspire others. I really hope this video helped you, and I really appreciate you coming to the Metabolic Docs YouTube channel. And until we have another video, continue to be safe, be well, and continue to protect your nest.